As an orthopedic surgeon for the past 26 years, my mission and passion in life is to treat diseases of the skeleton. Conditions such as fractures that we can repair and make the arm or the leg move again. Conditions such as a crooked spine or scoliosis that we can straighten and make the person look good again. And conditions such as painful and arthritic joints that we can replace and allow the person to walk again. Our aim is to maintain form and function. Now, for the past 22 years, I've been exclusively a spine surgeon. And to me, the spine is a particularly good demonstration of form and function. Why do I say that? Well, let's think about what the spine actually does. First of all, the spine has to carry our body weight because it has to be, therefore, very strong. Secondly, the spine has to allow movement so that we can bend and twist and carry out our daily activities. And thirdly, it also needs to conduct the wiring that carries signals from our brain to our limbs to allow us to move and to sense our environment. The spine does this by having very strong bone at the front that we call the vertebral body. It has intervening levels of intervertebral discs that are like car tires, very tough, and at the same time allow a little bit of motion so that we can actually bend and twist. While at the back, it protects and carries the very delicate spinal cord, the wiring within our spine that conducts the signals, and that is protected by a bony covering at the back to try to make it, prevent it from getting damaged. When our spine and our body are working very well, it can do some amazing things, such as these. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Mr. Lai Chi-wai.
Seven years ago, on the night of December 9th, I was riding my motorbike home on the Twin Moon motorway. Two vehicles hit me, rendering me paraplegic for the rest of my life. I lost mobility and all sensation from this part downwards. Now, I have no feeling from my belly button down. You can see my legs have shrunk. In the video, you can see that. I used to be a professional sport climber. The highest ranking I achieved was world number 8. I used to have great control over my body, better than most other people. After my accident, I felt I lost everything overnight. I lost ability to walk. My motion, my career, and my dignity. The biggest change in life after my accident was that I have to rely on my upper body strength. I need to do everything with my arms. My wheelchair has become my legs, and it's become an integral part of me. A year ago, I decided to climb and run walk. I want to send a positive message to everyone. Even with disability, we can still pursue our dreams. I brought my wheelchair with me to keep my blood flow in my legs. My wheelchair is not just a tool for my mobility. It has become an icon of me. After my accident, I lost ability to walk, walking with my friend shoulder to shoulder. And I felt I can't look at people eye to eyes. My world changed forever.
So why is it that we can repair bones and make people walk again, but we cannot repair the spinal cord of Chi-wai and make him walk again? Well, to understand this, we really need to understand what happens to the spinal cord after injury. So this, you will see here, is a schematic of the spinal cord. The gray areas are the nerves within the spinal cord. With injury, what happens afterwards is that there is bleeding, inflammation, and migration of inflammatory cells into the spinal cord. And these are of two types, you can see, M1 and M2. The M1 cells are like in a building site, the workers that do the demolition. They clear the site of debris, while the M2 cells are the builders within a building site. They help to repair and rebuild the spinal cord. But this is also when things start to go wrong, because within the injury site, there are a lot more people who are demolishing the site than there are people who are building. And as a result of that, we call this secondary damage. So after injury, there is more destruction than there is repair. When the inflammation is over, because of the destruction, the spinal cord is left with holes, cystic cavities, and is left with a lot of scar tissue. And these are formidable barriers to any form of repair. Fortunately, clinicians and scientists now have a good understanding of what actually happens, and therefore, we are able to devise strategies to try to overcome some of these. And at this moment in time, there are many studies around the world, both in the labs and in clinics, to use strategies to try to overcome some of these barriers. One such work is by a colleague of mine, Dr. Michael To at the University of Hong Kong, where he has been using silver nanoparticles to try to address this particular issue. He found that when silver nanoparticles are injected into the injury site at the time of injury, he can reverse this balance such that there are many more builders and fewer people demolishing the spinal cord. And he was able to show in this rat study, both rats have been injured, have spinal cord injuries. The one on your right has been treated with silver nanoparticles. The one on your left has not been treated with silver nanoparticles. And you can see that only 5 days after injury, the rat on the right is walking much better than the one on the left. So there certainly is hope that in future, we will be able to repair the spinal cord. That's great. However, that doesn't address the futility that Chi-wai has just expressed, because he injured his spinal cord 7 years ago. What can we do to help him? Well, for that, I think we need to think about alternative methods such as assistive technologies. What we mean by these are technologies such as computerized systems that help people with disabilities to communicate, to control their environment, robotic hands that allow people who have no hand function to move their fingers, electrical stimulation of the diaphragm or the bladder and bowel to allow them to control these even if the nerves are not working. Additionally, we also have an exoskeleton. Now, this is a device consisting of a very solid metal frame that we can attach to the limb of paraplegic patients. It has motorized joints, which are controlled by a computer at the back and is powered by a battery pack. With this kind of device, there is certainly potential for paraplegic people to try to walk again. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome back Mr. Lai Chi-wai.
Sitting on my wheelchair for 7 years, I have almost forgotten how to walk. My memory of walking has long gone. With this exoskeleton, I need to relearn how to walk as a toddler. I need to learn shifting my body weight from side to side to balance myself when I walk. Something supposedly so natural is actually a skill that needs to be learned. Though I may never be the old me again, these technologies make me feel more normal. Feeling normal means so much to me. The great thing about the exoskeleton is not just about walking again. It is the joy of looking at people eye to eye, walking with my friends shoulder to shoulder. As a father of a young kid, walking again means so much more. This is my son, Gordon, who is 6 years old. I still remember the first time when I stood up. He could not believe I was actually so tall. He never seen me standing as a normal person because I have my accident in the same years when he was born. Walking again is not just my dream. It's also his dream. Walking again means hopes.
Walking again means where there is a dream, there is hope.
There's a way.